God's sake, Jamie, give your brain a chance.
Welcome back to our continuing playthroughs of Skies Above Britain. 1940, the Battle of Britain, this is. And we are working our way through the early scenarios that basically teach you the fundamentals. And actually, last video I made a big error. And this is why I don't trust myself to do, formal learn to plays, because I'm always making little mistakes. And so we had a, let's see, something coming in, I think, I don't know for sure, but it was coming in head on, and no, he was tailing, that's right. And we chose turn, and we drew the card, and we got the turn result. Now, the error I made is when you get the turn result, you only apply anything above this yellow line. So this little green, since it wasn't a green pilot, that wouldn't have counted. And we totally ignore all this down here. So the battle should have just kept going, because it would have just put the ME-109 over here. We would have had to have done another round and fight like that. So just something to remember is if you get the result you look at, the same with slip. If you get a slip result, if you chose, I haven't shown a slip. Where is it? Slip. If for some reason this was a BF-109 that was tailing me, and I chose slip, again, we would just, we wouldn't apply this because we didn't get that. And we would ignore all the, oh, I didn't bring it, there's there in the camera. Like that. Okay, so, error fixed. Let's move on. And just a correction to the correction. I said something about the yellow line, but in the case of a slip, you always ignore everything else. If you get the slip, you just perform the slip and everything else is gone. There's no yellow line, but you might look at a card like this and say, oh, there's no yellow line, I have to apply these too. Nope. If you get a slip, you're done. And before we move on, I wanted to talk a little bit about this dogfight cycle. As you saw when I was doing it, you do start with head-on, tailed, and that's where you can maneuver. You don't have to maneuver, and there might be situations where you don't want to. To give you one of those examples is if you're ever in a situation, yep, sorry about that, where let's say you're tailing someone, and someone is tailing you, and if you do a maneuver, you're essentially letting these guys go. You're coming off their tail to deal with whatever's on your tail. And you may not want to do that, so that's something to keep in mind. You are not obligated to do a maneuver when you're being tailed. But back to this dogfight cycle. Like I said, you get the head-on, pull in there, you do the tailed, and that's where you can do your maneuver. And then tailing, which I'm getting ready to show you. Then you do the hit check. You saw me do that with you roll dice against any hit you have. And here's the important thing, and I almost think this should be red lettered in the rules. Resume, which means you'll go back and do another round of dogfight. However, there's an important thing. If you are still engaged after the first one of this first run through the dogfight cycle, you are a lost contact. And let me give you the reason this should be red lettered, they do mention it in the rule book in several places, I think, is because this gets into the whole philosophy of the escorts. So let's say the bombers, their mission is bombing here. That's their target, and they're on a trajectory coming like this. Obviously with some turns and stuff like that, but that's when they're actually getting there. You can imagine a bomber formation. There's usually more than this, but you can imagine it's a whole mess of them. And they're heading on this way, and some of us jump them. Whatever. Whole bunch of them. And so they're down here, and they're flying along. And suddenly, Messerschmitts show up and jump us. And the whole idea is not necessarily to destroy us, although that's perfectly fine if it happens. The whole point is to keep us off the bombers, and so we'll get in one dogfight round, and if we're able to get rid of these guys in one round, they're gone, but we're still, the bombers haven't gone so far that we can't, just get right back on them. And that's what I think that's what the rule is, and someone can chime in and say if I'm on the right track here. But basically, if it goes into a second round, the idea is that these guys have, gone out of sight at this point, and so the escort has done its job. It's now these guys are lost. They've lost contact with it, and these guys can go on. Their mission is accomplished, not necessarily shooting you down. Now, when you are lost, you can get back to them, but obviously you have to take up time, and you may not be able to do it. Yet, that's the whole idea, I think, behind it. The escorts. So anyway, that's a little digression. But I always like to throw out a pen and just start drawing stuff. At least how it goes in my mind. Anyway, let's look at this next scenario. So, scenario 3, on their tail. 13th of August, 1940, Fighter Command's 43rd Squadron from RAF Tangmere, I don't know how to pronounce that, attacked ME-109s of the 1st JG-2 as it was sweeping ahead of an incoming raid by junkers. You lead your Hurricanes of Blue section into the dogfight when, stroke of luck, a swarm of 109s appears right in your sights. And now we're using the Hurricanes, which are supposed to be a little better about bombers, but struggle a little more with the 109s. Alright, so we're going to run a dogfight, and the idea here is we keep fighting until there's all disengaged or everyone's dead, and so on, and we kind of go with the score there. So, not much to say other than to draw the cards, and the first one. And this is tailing. We're tailing them. We are a section, so we start on that row. And this is 109, so we're actually in this column here. So this S result is a split. And that's exactly what you think it would be. Where's my 109s? There's 4, it's a swarm. And what happens is 2 sneak on behind them. Well, we are tailing the other 2. Now, it says here in the little note that the flexibility of the swarm and rota, formation proved advantageous against the Vic formation. This is the Vic formation. If you watched Dunkirk, you would have seen them flying in that formation. And we have 2 low ammo results, and those are going to be assigned randomly. 2. That'll be blue 3, and the other one could be the same one. Yeah, it is, so he actually goes no ammo. All right, and here we are. That ends that round of the dogfight, and so they are still engaged, which, well, I think in this scenario they're technically already considered lost contacts, because you can get still shot when you're out floating around. But we continue the dogfight in any case, and the first thing we do, well, this is tailing. That's the last thing we resolve. We are being tailed, so that is the next one we will resolve. That means we do get to maneuver, if we want to. But if we do maneuver, it means we are letting these guys go. And that's the question. Do you let them go and go after these guys? Or do you go after them but let these guys have a more or less a free shot at you? Tell you what, let's go ahead and see if we can't turn. Okay, so these guys are going to go away. Now we draw the tailed card. And here we go with the turn. We are a section. So actually we successfully performed the turn. We are now head on with these 109s, and there's still 2 results. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong box. Hang on. I should be in this box. Because it's 109s. Oh, too bad. Okay, get back here. You're back over here. Instead, we're going to take 2 hits. Oh, that stinks. Into our hit box. And, we got to decide who gets hit. And the first hit will be on, sorry about the focus, 1 and again. So picking on blue 3 here. There's a wing for 5. Hopefully we can shake that off. And next, H. So that is blue leader. And he takes 7 on the elevator. All right, well, We are not tailing anyone, so now we move into the hit checks. Okay, wing 5. Ooh! Shake that one off. Elevator 7. And we shake that one off, so we're still fighting. Okay. Well, since this is, and we got one guy no ammo. This is Messerschmitt's tailing us, the Hurricanes, not doing so hot against them. We are instead going to do the evade. Alright, and the result of that is tailing. We draw 2 of them. Or tailed. Tailed is the card. Alright, we got these 2. And we're going to remember it's this side. Let's think. Definitely this one. Okay. Because all it does is reduce. We lose 1. And because we did evade, that automatically loses us 1. And so we have successfully disengaged and shaken them off. And that is considered an inconclusive dogfight, as nobody was shot down and we did not shoot anyone down in turn. All right, that is scenario 3. How about scenario 4? RAF advantage, 18th August 1940. ME-110s of ZG/26 Horst Wessels Squadron pass over Harriet from Kent when they're bounced by Hurricanes of 56 Punjab Squadron. You control a yellow section, capitalize on your starting advantage, and win this dogfight. All right. So a lot of times when there's a dogfight triggered, I think almost always you're going to be drawing either a Luftwaffe advantage or an RAF advantage. And in this scenario, it's RAF. And so all you do is pull that and you flip it. This is the text that will automatically apply, but this is the text that you would apply if certain conditions are made. In this case, section only, which we are. But if RAF fighters are attacking out of the sun, no, the scenario says we're not out of the sun, so this doesn't count. Instead, what happens is we are tailing a rot of 109s? Or is it ME-110? I think it's 110s, actually. Yes. And now we just finish this dogfight out. I guess the scenario is just showing you how an advantage card works. And, well, but we'll go ahead and see what happens. So you can just see more dogfights. We are tailing. We are a section. We are against the ME 110s. Now, here's an interesting result. The first thing that happens, one, we do make a kill, and you'd figure out who, you'd roll a die and see who did the kill. Let's see. This comes up later when you do the pilot rosters. 10, so yellow 2, downed a 110. Somebody got a low ammo marker, and that is yellow 3. Like so. Unfortunately, another rot shows up. Reinforcements come, and so now we're being dogged by 2 more. There's no check. There's no hit check, and we resume. And this is already considered lost contact, but at this point, if it wasn't lost, it was in the bomber formation, it would be considered lost at this point. And so we're against the 110s. Here's one where I think, let's do a split. I haven't done a split yet, so we are letting this one go, because that's what happens if you do maneuver. And we are going to draw a card. Or tailing or tailed. Tailed is where it is. All right, so shoop. Did we get? No, we didn't get it. Because it's this one, because it's the 110. Here's the 110s. We are a section. We don't get that. Instead, we get that. They vanish. Yeah. Choop. They had other fish to fry or something. Who knows what it was? But anyway, that is the end of it. And once again, this is an inconclusive dogfight, as no one. Wait. No, that is a victory because we scored one or more damage results on German fighters while none of your fighters were sent to fate boxes. And that's it. Hey, victory. That's from the Battle of Britain movie. I have to sing it because if I play the music, I'll get copyright strikes. Anyway, that's an example of advantage. And just for fun, scenario 5 is called Luftwaffe Advantage. 18th August 1940, the MU-110s of ZG/26 Horst Vessel Squadron are back again in the afternoon, escorting a bombing raid to RAF North Weald as acting squadron leader Peter Townsend positions his 85th Squadron Hurricanes to make a run at the bombers. The 110's attack. You are controlled of Townsend's B-Flight, red and yellow sections. All right, multiple sections. And we are instructed to draw 2 Luftwaffe advantage cards and apply each one of 2 sections. The German fighters will be 110s. Also, for this scenario, we assume the escort is heavy and that it is coming out of the sun or it's in the sun. So 2 Luftwaffe advantage cards, and as far as I know, for organizational purposes, you do one and you complete this dogfight before moving on to the other. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's probably the most organized way to do it, is just finish them out one after the other. Okay, Luftwaffe advantage. Stay on them. If the German fighters are 110s, they are. A veteran may replace this card. We don't have a veteran, so nope. No such luck. Anyway, so a swarm of 110s are on us, tailing. Unfortunate. Okay, so 110s versus. Let's try that slip again. I want to see a slip happen because I like to illustrate that just for fun. So we're going to slip, and we are tailed. So we draw the tailed card, and lo and behold. Yes. Okay, and here's what I was talking about. Slipped, and when you get that slipped result, it happens, and most importantly, you ignore all that. So slip. And what happens in a slip is one of these planes in the section breaks off and gets behind the 110s, and in fact, both of them break off. Well, let's just randomly pick one. The yellow 3 is going to slip behind them, and they're actually broken off. These guys are done, and it's just a dogfight between him tailing these guys. Oh, let's finish out this dogfight. Tailing. Boom. Okay, and this one reads a little differently because we're down here now because it's a single independent fighter, not a section. And we are doing the 110s, and lo and behold. Well, okay. Wait a minute. No, we're here. Sorry, not this one. This one. So we do manage a kill. Now there are 3 110s. We do garner a low ammo result. That is the end of that round. We have to fight another round. Tailing. Dunk. Here we go again. Here. Okay, so they vanish. And unfortunately, we take a hit. So draw a cup of hits. Focus. Thank you. And, oh, it's not return fire. It's a 9 on the engine. Okay, we got 2. I gotta remember, I got 2 hits. No, just 1. 1 hit on fighters. That's for the victory conditions. We have an engine on a 9. That's not so hot. We roll a 1, so he goes to the fate box on his engine? Ooh, engine's not good for hurricanes, I don't think. Okay, well, we'll check it in a minute here. So that dogfight is over. We still have this one to do. And we'll just take a look. Hun in the sun. Clear or haze only. Yep, this is the scenario says, yes, consider it in the sun. Normally, it would have been a rot of 2 110s, but unfortunately, because of the extra text here, it's going to be a swarm of 110s tailing. All right. So now we got a dogfight on our hands. We already did a slip. What do we want to do this time? Let's try a turn. Turn. Okay. Tailed. We draw a card. Zap. Okay, whoops. We are still a section, and it is 110s. Oh, I should show slip. We're going to reduce. So only 110 breaks off. And there's no fuel in this scenario, so we move on and we get a hit on somebody, and that somebody is 8, which would be yellow leader. He takes a hit. Not yellow leader, but red leader. I'm over here. My bad. 7 on the fuselage. Okay. All right, well, time for the hit check. 9, we shake it off. Trivial hit. Okay, we are still in the fight. And the question is, do we want to try a turn again? I'm gonna go ahead and yes, let's try a turn one more time. Tailed. Boom. I keep pulling them upside down. Come on, man. There and there. Once again, it's a slip. So we didn't get it. But they vanish. Fuel and a hit on somebody. That is a 7. Again, red leader takes a hit. And fuselage for 7. Hit check. He goes into the fate box. Okay, well, on the fuselage. Okay. Just for grins, I will show you the fate box rolls. Even though it's not really required for the scenario, it's exactly like the Skies and Storm. And basically, you just you choose Hurricane, roll a die. It's a 5. Unfortunately, it means we crash. And the question then becomes: you follow this, and then you crash. Yes, crash, and then you go follow this arrow to this column. And we roll an 8. Which allows him to bail out. So the pilot will survive. That's good news. Over here we have a guy in the engine. Engine hits are not good, but roll a 10. He's gonna go to the hangar. He's gonna successfully land his plane. Very good. Now there's no victory points for that, by the way. I noticed in Skies and Storm, I think you get points for being able to successfully land your planes, but not in this one. Anyway, so the result of that was, the result of that one is fly a desk. More RAF fighters in the fate boxes than German fighters killed. I don't even know if we killed any. I think we just escaped and dodged them, but we ended up with 2 in the fate box. So there you have it. That is all the fighter scenarios. Introductory 1 through 5 are the dogfighting scenarios. Join us next time where we will start with these bomber scenarios, and we will learn all about intercepting bombers and knocking them out of the sky. And until then, thanks for watching.